At that time, I don't think your marriage will end. Let Isabella go and beat the child, or I will give her 200,000, and she will give birth to the child in our grandson's family. Mom, Carden said with a gloomy expression. At this time Isabella is about to pass the door. Why do you have to have trouble with her? Carden's mother said disdainfully, I tell you, if she dared to pass the door, I won't be able to get through with her in my life. Her hard days are too early. On the side, Carden's father also said, Carden, you really should listen to your parents about this matter. Now we are married, we must pay attention to the right person. Our family dare not say that it is a wealthy family, but it is worth tens of millions. Among the wealthy families, relatives and friends, our family is the best. If you listen to me, find another rich lady who is equal to or richer than our family. Then the strength of our family lies in the grandson among the big family. It's even better. Having said this, his father sighed with regret. I say that you are a disobedient child. It is not good to find a woman, but you have found a woman whose family is so poor. By then, our family will not let these relatives and friends make a joke about it? Carden's heart was incomparably painful. He naturally treated Isabella out of sincerity. The two were together when they were in college, and they have never quarreled for so many years. They have always been in love with each other. Don't know how many people envy their extremely stable feelings. In his heart, if he and Isabella can get the blessing of his family and live a good life together, he will definitely become the happiest man in the world. But he couldn't understand why his parents had to block his marriage in many ways. Although Isabella is not the child of a wealthy family, she is indeed a rare good girl. It's a pity that the snobbish parents can't see the advantages of Isabella. They just thought that Isabella's family had no money and no power, so they looked down on her in their hearts and didn't want her to pass. No matter how they persuaded or begged them, they were still unwilling to change their original intentions. Even now, Isabella was pregnant with his own flesh and blood, and they were still full of contempt for her, which made Carden very painful deep in his heart. He even thought that if his parents are really not optimistic and do not support his marriage, then he might as well wait until the wedding is over and take Isabella away from home. At this moment, there are less than 5 minutes left before the 9:20 deadline. Isabella still did not appear. Carden couldn't help worrying in his heart. He worried whether Isabella's parents stopped her and prevented her from marrying. At this time, Carden's mother whispered to her husband with a smug face, In my opinion, it's impossible for the Jones family to let Isabella get married. After all, we didn't even give them any money. If you don't go, you can say that they don't give their family face at all. Her parents won't get a penny from us, and they're slapped like this, they will definitely not let her marry Carden. So I guess, today is the same. It's a drama that makes the grandeur give up. Carden's father said painfully, Then the cost of this big show is too high. Hilton has dozens of banquets, plus weddings, and we spent $4 to $5 million. Carden's mother raised her eyebrows and said, What is $4 to $5 million? As long as my son can leave that poor woman, I would be willing to spend even $1 billion. As she said, she lowered her voice again, and said excitedly, Let me tell you, Sister Lu told me that Mr. Shui's daughter had returned to China some time ago, and she broke up with her foreign boyfriend. Mr. Shui's wife is right now. He said that he wanted to find someone for her in Orus Hill. If our son can be with Mr. Shui's daughter, it would be of great help to our family. Carden's father frowned and said, I heard people say that the foreign boyfriend of Mr. Shui's daughter was a black man. Is it a bit? What's the matter? Carden's mother blurted out, The most important thing is that if we can conclude with Shui and become in-laws, we will definitely do better business in the future. Making money is the most important thing. Poor Carden didn't know what his parents were making at this time. He was still waiting for his beloved woman to appear. But as time passed, he also began to feel a little worried. He was afraid not because Isabella changed her mind, but because Isabella's parents would not agree with her to marry in the end. At this moment, there was a whistling sound of supercar engines on the road. The grandchildren at the door and their relatives and friends were all attracted by the beast-like engine sound. Then someone shouted, FCK. It turned out to be Bugatti Veyron. Really? Carden's cousin, Harbin, looked at the Bugatti Veyron that was approaching in the distance, and said dumbfounded, This is a limited edition of Hermes, there is only one in the country. I was at the Orus Hill International Auto Show some time ago. I have seen this car. It is said that this car and another Aston Martin 177 were bought by a mysterious rich man at the same time, but since then, I have never seen this car come out. I did not expect to see them here. Having said that, he immediately took out his mobile phone and constantly adjusted the focus to the distance, wanting to take a clear photograph of this Bugatti. At this moment, someone exclaimed, "Here you go." The next one turned out to be an Aston Martin 177. What a fairy day is today, and two top sports cars suddenly came. These two cars add up to 1 billion. Harbin, his eyes are almost falling off. He hurriedly said to Carden, "Hey, look at the magnificence. Don't you like Aston Martin 177 the most? F***CK. Today is really eye-opening." Carden was also a little surprised.